We are going to quickly in this video go over expectations on how to do a very basic level of a political cartoon annotation. I want you to watch this video, and then in class tomorrow we are going to actually go ahead and in small groups be annotating your own political cartoons. So throughout the course we've been talking about political cartoons, and we often are looking at them that have in context, and I often tell you this is probably what it symbolizes, and sometimes we think aloud. And now I actually am going to want you to take your thoughts and your ideas and actually put them onto the cartoon. So using your iPad, we have all kinds of very cool tools. One of them is going to be Sketch, and I'm going to go over in class tomorrow in more detail how to go use this, but I just want to go over basic expectations for annotating itself. So before we completely get started, I want you to think about a political cartoon and what a political cartoon is. So go ahead, take a moment, and you're just going to want to say, what is a political cartoon? Maybe jot down some ideas, maybe brainstorm. Think about it for just a second. Alright, so hopefully you came up with various different things, and we'll talk about all the things you came up with tomorrow. But political cartoons, this is the definition given by a museum website, nationalworldwar2museum.org. Political cartoons are known as editorial cartoons, are defined as illustrations or comic strips containing a political or social message that usually relates to current events or personalities. So normally when we look at a political cartoon in history, it's a historical event that the comic is describing. Normally comes from the time period. So cartoonists use symbols, caricatures, stereotypes, analogies, juxtaposition, so the positioning of people. Are they next to each other? Is one person higher up? Is one person really far in the distance? Irony and captioning and labels. So all of those different things are going to be used, and when you look at them, you need to kind of break down what each cartoon is using and emphasizing. So oftentimes, to give you an example of a symbol, they say the donkey for the Democratic Party. We also see elephants used for the Republican Party. Caricatures, they're going to point out different features of a person's body. Sometimes that's used to identify who the character is if it's not clearly labeled. Stereotypes, dishonest lawyers, Italian gangsters are some examples there. Comparing a situation as compared to a well-known other situation, maybe trying to connect a historical event or a political idea to something that's happening, or a really well-known story or characters to give people a larger or better connection to that idea. We just talked about juxtaposition earlier when I went through them, but basically who's next to what, who's in line, how are the people arranged, what do the people look like. Irony, basically as clear as mud. This is a great example right here. So mud, we know, is not clear. Mud is often very thick and dark and hard to look through, so it's kind of an opposite situation. And then captioning and labels. Captioning and labels are normally the easiest thing to annotate or to recognize in a cartoon because they're normally laid out directly to help you with that. So political cartoons, we've talked about and we've gone over them, but this is just a reminder of all those things. I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you quickly a cartoon that I pulled up. It has nothing to do with the content that we're learning right now. The assignment you're going to have to do is going to relate to the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis. But I wanted to go through a completely different one, not to limit, so I don't limit your options when you're finding your own cartoon. So here's my cartoon that I chose. If you just take a minute, you want to think of the different things that maybe you see that represent different symbols. What do you see? Do you see captions? Do you see stereotypes? Do you see juxtaposition? Do you see exaggerations? What things can you pull away? So go ahead, just looking at this, what are some things that stand out to you? And so what your job will be using the app tomorrow is going to be to, add arrows. What are you pointing at? Maybe describe a situation. What are some symbols? There's two people here. There's a huge group here. What do those people look like? What's being said? Why are they saying it? Those are all the things that you're going to want to break down and you're going to want to look at. So on the next slide, you can see, oh, maybe, hold on. Oh, there we go. On the next slide, you can actually kind of see the things. I added a title. Maybe this is what people think our future is going to be. This is Save the Twinkies. This is talking about when Hostess decided to stop production, if everyone remembers that. Twinkies were being sold off the shelves because everyone was afraid we would never have Twinkies again. What is it trying to say? This is very basic. Again, maybe these represent the American people. These are concerned citizens. They're trying to save our planet. These people, there's more people worried about Twinkies maybe than there are the Earth and the planet. Now you can see how you annotated those different things. So tomorrow you're going to have the chance to do this. There's an app where you can just put the picture right in, and we'll go over that again. Type out your meanings, draw arrows. You want to start just getting that idea and getting that concept. Okay, so hopefully you have a better understanding of what I'm looking for. Again, this is a very basic level. We're going to start here, and then we'll go deeper and deeper as the year goes on.